It was a good bounce-back win. We're getting to a point where I like our basketball team a lot, and I have high expectations. I'm still not satisfied with what I saw out there. And, you sit here and you won a basketball game by 20 points. I think that's what you've seen is the progression of this team. I'm pleased that we bounced back. I liked our effort, defensively, but offensively we've got to continue to do things and get better shots and take care of the basketball if we're going to go up and win some games in the Dakotas and the Oral Roberts and the Oaklands that are coming up.
Coach, you're 6-1 in conference play. How big is that?
Well, I mean, it's huge. I told the team the other day, if somebody would have told me in September you'll be 6-1, I would, in the middle of January, I would have hit the fast forward button and just started right there. Because obviously it's the best start in school history. Here we are with a one-game lead on everybody going to the Dakotas, so everybody's chasing us. It's a nice place to be, and now this program has to learn how to play as the leader and not as the underdog. That's the next step that we've got to learn how to do.
Rebounding's still a bit of a concern, because it's odd, because before the UMKC, you were out rebounding teams, but then...
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Matt Painter right now, because if you read that article on Purdue, they were out-rebounding everybody, and all of a sudden they hit conference play, and they can't out-rebound anybody. Yeah. I'm not sure. We worked on it the other day in practice. We worked on it in shoot-around. It was better today, but we still got out-rebounded. So tomorrow in practice, it'll be a focus, and hopefully it'll get better against Chicago State, because going out to Dakotas, we know both those teams rebound.
Coach, talk about momentum, how you're riding this high right now. You guys playing real well.
Well, we are riding. We feel really good about ourselves, obviously, to be 6-1 and be in first place. But it is only 7 games, and we have 11 left. And we have higher goals than the 6-1 right now. So what we have to do is, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to celebrate because we got to get back to work because we got a non-conference game against Chicago State on Wednesday. And that's really big for us because we want that momentum to continue going to the Dakotas. So we've got to let this go, try to get that game against Chicago State. It would get us back to the 500 mark, which we've been battling to get to, and then go try to get number 7 against North Dakota State.
I guess after a 6-1 start, you don't have to prove anything, but in some ways
Absolutely. We've had some players who've had really, really big weeks, and we still can't get a player of the week, And I think it has to do with the fact that you've got to go out and beat some of the big boys. Now, I know we beat Oakland, but it was here. The Oral Roberts win was a huge win, but the Dakotas have always been the Dakota, especially South. For us to be able to go out there and win 1 or 2 basketball games would really put us on the radar and say, okay, IPFW's here, and I'm pretty sure they're going to stay here. If we go out and we lay an egg on Saturday and lay an egg on Monday and then come back, it may be, well, they're beating some teams, but they're not ready for the big boys yet. So I'd agree with you completely.
I'm going to go down and talk to him then.
Okay.
Like this.
Oh, come on. Get used to it, all right? Then don't score so many points.
Just go ahead and talk about your night.
Well, we came out last game versus UMKC. We didn't have our best, so we really need to get back on track here. We were still in first place, and we knew that we were just sharing it. So we knew that if we took care of business tonight, UMKC would hopefully lose versus Oakland, which they did. And if we took care of business, we'd be the only people at the top, and we are. So I'm glad we took care of business tonight. We wanted to really stretch the lead tonight and really send a sign out to the rest of the conference, knowing that what happened last game was just a fluke and that wasn't us. So we're here doing business, and we want to stay at the top as long as possible.
Talk about how big it is to be number 1 in the conference.
It's huge. For us, this has been our goal for ever since we started Division I, and especially joined the conference. And this year we're doing well so far, but we know that we haven't reached our peak yet. We still have a lot of work to do, and going into the Dakotas this weekend, those are going to be tough matchups, but if we come to play like we can get the job done.
And this wasn't the best team. Was it necessary to beat them as you did, not by 4 or 5 or 6 points?
Yes, we know that Southern Utah, we have the ability to come out and beat them big like we did, but being at the top, we know that we're going to get every team's best effort every game because we're the team to beat. So we know that any night, any team can beat anybody. So we have to be ready, not just treat this like a down game or anything. Just go out there and send a signal to everybody else.
Are you starting to see teams overguard you now?
Yeah, I've noticed it a little bit more. I'll be right by their sideline. They're yelling, shooter, shooter, shooter. But that's when other people on the team step up and hit big shots for us.
Because it seems like, sometimes they're just oblivious to what's going on. It's like this is how they guard you the whole time. And I don't know if you're noticing that.
Yeah, I have noticed it.
Is that frustrating?
I don't get frustrated with it because I know that if I'm not open for shots, other people are open and they knock the big shots down.